Okay, I finally done it. BMW track car with the shifter that caused me to money shift. This is a UUC short shift kit. All right, check it out. Look at that. Absolutely stunning craftsmanship. All the things that we need. And I've got the DSSR. Can't wait to finally have a shifter in my BMW that works. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong one. All right, first thing we have to do is go from the top of the car, remove the old shifter. There's a process to this. Jay has the instructions. Jay, you want to bring them over? You guys remember Jay, right? Wave on the camera, Jay. There is Jay from Road to Time Attack. You'll know him from there. They're detailed.
That is.
How many pages is this? There's like literally 16 pages. 21 pages of instructions. Are you actually
gonna read all that? It's okay, it's only your car.
The way to get this shift knob off is to grab it with two hands and pull straight up. There's no fancy twisting, there's no tool. You literally just muscle it off and do your best not to hit yourself in the
don't knock yourself out.
Okay, so. Okay, hold on.
I think you gotta work out a little bit more.
I got this. There. Shift knob comes off. Nice ZHP knob. Seen that before? All right, then we take this foam piece out. All right. A German car for you, insulation. We take this rubber kind of grommet out that. Oh, I wonder how much this part cost if I was to go buy it right now. All right, there is the shift linkage down there. Now we need to go to the underside of the car, which means putting it up. And if you have the light up shift knob, there'll be a plug that you'd have to unplug that's around here that attaches to the shift knob that lights it up.
Are you an old man?
Because race car.
So we have to remove the selector rod from the carrier. So let's see if I can go from this side to give you. I don't want to remove. You can remove the exhaust and the drive shaft. That would make this about 1,000,000 times easier. I am lazy, and I know that this can be done without that. So I'm just going to avoid it. As you look up here, this is the selector rod, the bar underneath. There's a little pin on the other side that you just pull back this way, and the selector rod will come out in this direction. All right, so if you take a look, I just popped that linkage out. There's a little yellow bushing on either side. You can detach it from the other side, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to go up the stairs and pull the shifter out of the carrier.
All right, so we have to rotate this bushing cup thing in such a way that it will release the shift linkage. I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about because I don't. Never done this before, so we're gonna wing it. There, okay, I did that by accident. I'd love to be able to tell you how I did that, but I just kind of turned that cup and it popped out. That was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. Alright, so here is the old shifter and the new shifter. You get an idea of the distance from the carrier to the linkage there, and from the carrier to the point inside the car, right? You can see, totally different design, and to be perfectly honest, the UUC one is better quality than the BMW. This is a Delrin ball that goes in the carrier, and the UUC one is just a smooth piece of milled metal. That's very lovely, actually. Really well made.
All right, so if you look way up there where that linkage attaches to the top, this is the most difficult part to do. If you lower the transmission a little bit by releasing those bolts, this will be easier, but again, I'm lazy and I'm pretty sure I can do it without it because I've done it before. So I'm just gonna reach up there with a screwdriver and this little clip you have to pop up, and that will release the linkage. Do you have a smaller, stubbier flathead?
Yeah. All right, so we just got this little pin out here. You can see, really not easy to get to. It's hard to get to the far side of it, so just see, if you can, just shove something in there and just pry aggressively, because UUC provides you with a new one of these in the kit, which is really handy. So you can damage this getting it out. Now we just reach up and take the carrier out, because it just kind of slides into a piece of my car just fell on me.
And it's doing a good job of being stuck. There it is.
And the bushing.
Okay. Good. Now we got to rebuild this thing on the workbench. We're gonna take this old rubber bushing out of here, and we've got UUC has given us Delrin replacements, which are very closely machined to fit in here. These just slip right in either side. Okay, like so. Okay, and they're gonna test fit this new pin, all right, which goes. I think it goes in this way. Oh, that is very tight. Yep. And it slides in perfectly there. Okay, and that's the thing that clips onto, this actually is on the top of the transmission. This sits like that, okay? So that is all ready to go. This goes in after the, oh, that is tight, holy. After you slot it back in on the top of the transmission. So I'm just gonna leave that just like that for now. Okay, next part. UUC is giving you some very handy instructions. So we're going to install the pivot height adapter assembly done on the workbench. Well, this is my workbench, so that's where we're at. Okay, so it says, put that little guy up. Yeah. Okay, that slots in there. Is that thread locker?
Yeah, they do.
I do.
Yeah, it looks like it falls in there, yeah.
So, thread locker, a little bit in each hole, make it easy. Those of you that are bored watching, decided that I'll entertain you now by telling you that I think that I kind of really want to buy an E39 M5 at some point. What do you think about that, Jay?
Another old BMW?
Yes, another old BMW that's probably more temperamental than this one.
So you might as well blow the engine up on that one and then replace it with the new V8.
Yeah. Well, no, that one has a V8.
M3.
The M5 has a V8. You mean the V10?
Yes.
Yes, from the E60. That would be lovely. Doubt that it would fit. But no, I currently am super interested for some reason, I don't know why, in V8 luxury sedans, big V8 luxury sedans.
Because you're a masochist, clearly.
Yeah, apparently. I don't really know why all of a sudden I have started to like these a lot, but seriously? If you do think that I should get an E39 M5, let me know in the comments. All right, so this slide, there's a little bushing that this slides into the back. This guy sits in the attachment, the point up there. I slide the pin through and clip it down. Nothing really much more to it than that. Get this guy in first. There we go. There it is. So, I just greased this ball here. We put this in, the adjustment knob goes to the front, and the bend goes to the back and to the left, according to UUC. So that just slides down in there. Oh, sorry. Push everything down in there. And there's a retaining C-clip that we put in. I really don't want to drop this through the car. Okay, so I got half of it in. I wouldn't be a very good surgeon. This is incredibly tricky.
Time lapses, clearly.
Yeah, it was. Okay, I think I got it.
So it shifts now?
Well, there's nothing connecting to the transmission. This is the old selector rod, and this is the UUC dual shear selector rod, or DSSR. Now, this is far more robust, and it's got things on both sides. Locks the whole thing in a whole lot better. We're gonna attach this to the UUC shifter. We've got brand new bushings here and C-clips. We're gonna lubricate these pins. This is literally just plug and play. If you don't have a bent one, it doesn't really matter which side, because it's a complete mirror image. So basically we just attach it to the bottom of the shifter. This is the old one, but the UUC is gonna look like this. You put it on either side like that. It'll be a little bit of a tight fit. Pin goes through with the washer on either side. Clip the C-clip in with the pin, and we're done. Let's go do that right now.
Where's it supposed to go?
It attaches like on the bottom of that little hole. the shifter comes through. All right, it goes on either side.
Oh, that with that belt, that housing there.
Well, it goes on this side too. This here.
Oh,
That is highly annoying. There we go. It's shifted. So I gotta change gears. There we go.
There's parts left over.
Yeah, I know, right? Always parts left over.
Are there supposed to be?
It just means that I engineered it better, Jay.
Yep. You've improved on the original design.
I have, yes. We're done. Okay, that was annoying. Let's lower the car and put all the rubber stuff back in and the shift boot and whatnot, which I haven't had in a while. All right, so just putting the rubber grommet back on. I haven't tried the shifter yet. Jay tried it and ruined my first test and said it was amazing, so I'm super excited to actually try it. I think that's back in. Did I put that in upside down? I don't care, I'm too excited. This goes in like that, foam insulation, which I probably, because race car, I should probably get rid of that, but all right, shift knob.
Shift boot.
There it is, it's in. Oh, that's good. Look how short that is. Oh man, that's like literally night and day. I cannot wait to drive it like that. Initial impressions, things are really, really different in here. It's almost like it's changed the entire feel of the car, actually. So I sent a quick email to Rob and I said like, yo, I couldn't believe how good this shifter is right off the bat. Like I didn't even drive it yet. I said it feels like my MX-5. And he responded and he said, actually, a little bit of a background, we used the MX-5 as a benchmark when we were designing this shifter. The MX-5 is benchmarked as a really good shifter, and same with the S2K, because the transmission location is right below where the actual shifter is. So there's no linkage, really. It just goes right into the transmission. You select the gears directly. And for a car in my E46 that has the selector rod and it has the carrier and all that stuff that you saw in the install, this is as close to a Miata, I think, as you could possibly get. So just the quality of the shifter itself, as you saw, is incredibly good. Everything is machined very carefully, and the tolerances between pieces are very, very tight. It's not like incredibly, insanely short. Like it's not like the throws are like ridiculously short, like you can get in some short shifters. So that means that the effort hasn't increased, because if you shorten the throws too much, the effort of shifting increases too much. I don't like that. So this has a good throw distance. I would say that, don't quote me on this, but I would say that it's about the same or maybe a tiny little bit longer than a stock Toyota 8.6 or like Subaru BRZ shifter. So if you've been in one of those, you can kind of benchmark that. But this feels better than this. There's just like a small motion in between gears, and there's an incredibly obvious click when it goes into gear. It doesn't feel like notchy and annoying. It just feels very, very obvious when you get into gear. I just looked down at my gauges and they're not working. Yeah, I'm not making that up. In the middle of my car review, I just looked down and my gauges actually aren't working. Are my headlights on? We're gonna restart the car. Right in the middle of a, sorry UUC for hijacking your car review with BMW. Oh my God, my dials aren't working on my car. I let it sit at Jay's garage for like 3 days and now the dials aren't working. Oh, this car, it's just literally non-stop entertainment. Here, I'll just show you. That's my dials right now. That's me revving the car with the airbag lights still on. Okay, let's finish up this UUC shifter review. Sorry, UUC, for hijacking that with that little bit of entertainment. So I still have a tiny little bit of play in my actual shifter mechanism, and I think that's because the carrier bushing, I don't know if that's the right name for it, the one at the back where the carrier actually sits in, is old. That's the only thing that hasn't been replaced. So I'm going to go and replace that, and I have a feeling that's going to tighten everything up. Yeah, so other than that, I have exactly 0 faults with this shifter. Truly. I am beyond satisfied without going to one of those like crazy CAE shifters that's like way up here and has like the other crazy linkage that's, you know, very race car-ish. I can't imagine that another alternative, whatever other brands there are out there for short shifters, could be any better than this. Honestly, I'm truly saying that genuinely to you right now. I know there's other brands out there, and I'm sure that they're just as good, but I can tell you that I can't imagine that it's any better than this because I love the way this feels. The effort isn't too big. The shifts are so obvious what gear you're in. Coming from a guy that money shifted because he thought he put his car in 4th gear and he actually put it in 2nd, this is a welcome addition to the track car world. This is also adjustable too, so I can actually adjust the height of the shifter, so I might play around with that and find something that I like. Because I could actually extend the shift knob up a little bit higher, closer to the steering wheel for those short, quick shifts to the movements from the steering wheel to the shifter when you're on the track and you have to do a shift really quickly. But yeah, UUC short shifter. Oh, and I have the dual shear selector rod as well, and that just strengthened everything. That's kind of the way that I would describe that. Made it very, the whole thing feel more robust. Okay, so UUC shifter gets my vote, absolutely. If you're looking for a short shift kit, I definitely recommend this one. Put in the comments if you have any either alternatives that you think are better or worse, or if you have a UUC shifter as well and you want to tell me what it's like. But for me right now, this is, I think, all I need in my track car, and I'm a very happy man. Now, I have to go find out why the gauges on my car just completely up and stopped working. If anybody has an answer to that, feel free to also put that in the comments. Yeah. All right. Have a good day. Edit that out. Edit that out. Oh. Take 2.
So your best is a 128.8.
That's terrible.
Thomas, you are very good on camera.